What's going on, y'all? Jeff Michael here, Sports with Balls. Welcome into the show. Gonna be a good one today, man. And why is that? We got football back. NFL is back, baby. Gonna kick off here in a little bit. I understand. I get it. It's preseason. None of the starters are playing. But look, the NFL will be on my television. And just like everybody else, I let it sit there and play while I do other things. But the fact that you can hear the whistles, you'll hear great interviews from Hall of Famers. It's just great to have football back. There will be football on your television every week now until January of next year or February of next year. So I'm in. Sign me up. Here we go. NFL season. And I've got some bad news for a couple of NFL players. For some fan bases, this is not good. So I've got some bad news with some injury updates coming up here in a minute. But first, like we always do, got to thank a couple of people before we get going. Number one, Christian's Tailgate Bar and Grill. Go to christianstailgate.com, find one near you, and just get over to this place, man. It's phenomenal. The food's phenomenal. The TVs are phenomenal. The sound, it's just amazing. Sports venue or sports bar, or even just to go have a couple of happy hour drinks, whatever, man. They've even got goat yoga on Saturdays sometimes. It's an amazing place to go. Get to Christian's Tailgate when you can. Now, you want to give your car a good rub down? If that makes sense. Go to diamondautospa.com, 346-319-5961. Detailing is just the beginning at Diamond Auto Spa, or go to Diamond Auto HTX for your social medias. And also, the weather's been terrible lately. We finally got a couple of breaks. Go to Bailey Roofing and Construction, 281-961-2872. Garrison Bailey over there taking care of you. Roofing, construction, all your fences that got knocked down with, number one, we had a tornado. Number two, we had a hurricane. Just bad weather down here. So if you're in the Houston area, get over there. All right, today is August the 1st, so happy August. Glad you made it through July. National holidays for today. Let's get it. National Girlfriend Day. I don't have one, so I don't think that's oh, that sounded terrible, but it's National Girlfriend Day, and I believe that's for girlfriends having other girlfriends just as friends, if you know what I mean. So National Girlfriend Day. It's Spider-Man Day, which is interesting. My son will be happy to know that. National Wellness Month here in August as well. Colorado Day. Cycle to Work Day. Not doing that. I'm just not doing it. It's 100 degrees here. Yeah, you can kiss my ass. I'm not cycling to work. What else we got? Homemade Pie Day. Nope, not doing that one either. International Child Free Day. Huh. Now, my son would be interested to know that. Today's Child Free Day. I'm going to go do something. India Pale Ale Day. For those of y'all that are the beer drinkers in this group. What else we got? There's a few of them in here that just, I'm not. IPA Day, which is India Pale Ale. National Planner Day. If you're a planner, it's your day. Good job. National Minority Donor Awareness Day. Play Ball Day. Now, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Get your gloves out, grab your bats, and rally the kids because it's Play Ball Day, which means baseball, which is a matter of fact. I already did that with my son today, so boom, we knocked that one out. National Promise to Care Day. Raspberry Cream Pie. Respect for Parents Day. Dude, there's a lot of things that kids should read today on this one. Today, August the 1st, Respect for Parents Day. Switzerland National Day. Startup Day. Golly, World Lung Cancer Day. Woman Astronomers Day. Jeez. Coolio's birthday. Rest in peace, Coolio, Jason Momoa. Jerry Garcia, the late, great Jerry Garcia. And, yeah, there you go. That's your national holidays and your birthdays for August the 1st. We'll get to today in sports history here in a little bit. At the end of the show, I'm sure there's a lot of Olympic stuff that we'll have going on. I know there's some Babe Ruth stuff, but we'll see. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But speaking of the Olympics, we're going to jump into the NFL here in a second. But speaking of the Olympics, This is very interesting. This was all over the news, and I don't really know. How do you bring this up? There's a boxer that bailed out right after 42 seconds, something like that. Now the Olympic Committee had let this other boxer in. Apparently, this is two female boxers. Well, apparently, but one of the boxers is not a female. She has identified as a male, or one way or the other. I had the article sitting up here because I don't want to say something wrong that Oh, here it is. Let me see if I can get this back. So what happened is it's a gender debate. Italy's Angela Carini withdraws from the women's boxing match. Now, the woman Carini withdrew from the fight after being punched in the nose, telling reporters she never felt a punch like that from her opponent Khalif, Khelif. Khalif was permitted to participate in this year's Olympics after being previously prohibited from the 2023 International Boxing Association's World Boxing Championship. She was disqualified for the championships after failing to meet eligibility requirements for the women's competition, noting she was not subject to a testosterone exam and was instead put through a separate test, found that she had competitive advantages over other women. This is a huge deal going on right now. Huge deal about I don't even want to say transgender. I don't even know how you would even put this, but she was disqualified from other competitions. The IOC let her in the Olympics and the International Olympic Committee, and now this other woman just bowed out after 42 seconds, got hit too hard. I don't know where you stand on this. I don't know what's going to come about this, but you should not have a man fighting a woman. Or somebody of male strength, I guess. I don't know. This is you talk about a competitive advantage that's massive. I mean, the girl just stopped fighting. It is a huge deal right now going on around the Olympics. Go to Sports with Balls on your social media outlets. There's much debate going on about this right now. So we'll continue to follow that story and let you know what comes about it. But how much of the Olympics have you watched? Like, literally, how much of the Olympics have you watched? Now, I'm keeping up with it. Like, Simone Biles today won the individual. I know the USA won the overall gold in gymnastics. I just haven't watched much. Maybe when the track and field comes around. I know we didn't do that. It didn't look like we did that well in swimming. Katie Ledecky, I know, just killed everybody. But other than that, I haven't watched. I have not watched the Olympics. I don't know if anybody else has. There's not a whole lot to it. I'm not interested. There needs to be a compelling story in the Olympics for me to watch it. There's no compelling story about the USA basketball. Zero. South Sudan or whatever it was, that was compelling, but then we just killed them. It's like that. The swimming, there's not really a compelling story that's drawing my attention to the swimming. There's nothing right now. Beach volleyball or whatever Olympic sports you go. There's 3-on-3 basketball. Who decided that 3-on-3 basketball was an Olympic sport? We don't even have that professionally over here in my town, in my city. I have no idea how that became an Olympic sport. I'm just not. There's nothing that's drawing me into the Olympics where I'm like, man, I got to watch that today. Maybe track and field will give me something. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just hearing these stories, Again, like there's two female boxers. That's the big story today, is that one of the boxers wasn't female. It's just there's nothing that's really compelling right now as far as the Olympics are concerned. That I'm interested in. It's just not. It's not at all. The only compelling story today was the gender debate after Italy's Angela Caratini withdrew from the boxing match after being hit harder than she's ever been hit before in her life by apparently a non-female boxer. There we go. That's a way to put it, I guess. And I said apparently. She says, I don't know. What do you want, son? What is it? I don't know what that says. Go. See you later. My son, I just talked about this stuff. I told him to go outside earlier, and now he's asking me. Get outside, boy. For those of y'all that are just tuning in, I'm Jeff Michael. This is Sports with Balls. Welcome into the show. 10 minutes deep. Let's get into the NFL, man. There is massive NFL news today. Number one being that we have a game that's going to be played in 1 hour from right now. at 7 p.m. Central Time, Texans and Bears. The line has moved. And for those of you degenerate gamblers, it is now the Texans at minus 2.5. And the over-under is 32.5. Are you taking anything? Is anybody betting on this game? If you are, maybe you need to call that 1-800 number or 866 or whatever it is. I don't know, but I'm not I'm not betting on this game. Listen, I'll put it to you this way. If you want to bet on this game, fine, but fun bet. There's no way thousands should be thrown down. If you want to throw $20, say the Texans are going to cover, that's fine. Or the Bears plus 2.5, that's fine. Or if you think these defenses are score or something like that, the over, that's fine. Go look. I'll tell you what to do. Go look at the previous Hall of Fame games. If you're going to bet, I would look at the previous 5 to 10 Hall of Fame games and see if they've gone over or under. That's where I would go. As far as one of these teams, I don't know how you even put a line. No starters are playing. I don't think a single starter from either side is going to play in this game. So I don't know where they come up with Houston minus 2.5. Vegas did, though. They've got it down. Total is 32.5. It's just going to be fun to have NFL television on. Like, NFL will be on my TV while I'm cooking dinner, doing something. It's going to be nice to have it on. For those of us with man caves, put it on in the man cave. Turn the volume up. Here we go. That's just a blast. That's sitting down, having a drink, watching football. I mean, come on, man. That's what this is all about. We're way more excited about the NFL Hall of Fame game than we are the Olympics. True story. That is insane. We are way more fired up about the Texans and Bears with 0 starters than we are the Olympics. It's unbelievable, man. I have no interest in the Olympics right now. None at all. Let me know if you are. Look, guys, leave your comments. I know Chewy's on there. I see Chewy. What's up, Chewy? There's a few people that are commenting. I know Kevin Bauer. What's up, Kevin? How are you? I know he's going to say some Cowboy stuff here in a minute. I know that. So leave your comments. I'll try to get to them as we breeze through this show. We only got about 18 minutes left, and then we'll cut it off so we can all get ready for this Texans, this incredible Hall of Fame game coming up. But look, there's some other NFL news. And some breaking news and some heavy, heavy, heavy hearts today. Number one, D'Onta Foreman got carted off. Not even carted off. Was going to get carted off, but got taken off by helicopter, which was absolutely insane to sit there and watch on the news that he was being taken off by a helicopter for a neck injury. He seems to be okay. So that's good. That's really good news that D'Onta Foreman is okay. Now, and by the way, he's for the Browns now, but the CT scans are negative. The other news, huge news, Titans wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins has a knee injury and is out 4 to 6 weeks. Now, it says he'll miss 4 to 6 weeks. It doesn't specify if that's 4 to 6 weeks from today or 4 to 6 weeks in the season. I would assume that means 4 to 6 weeks in the season. Now, assumptions get you a lot of trouble, but man, the Tennessee's will turn to third-year wide receiver Treylon Burks. This is big news for you fantasy football players. This is big news for you Titans fan. I know Titan Sports Nation is listening to this. I'm sorry. That's absolutely devastating for the Tennessee Titans. I know they were looking forward to having a sort of a bounce-back year. Will Levis being the quarterback had sort of a revelation for them last year. So this is a massive, massive blow. You lose Derrick Henry to the Ravens, and now you lose your number one wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins to an injury for the first 4 to 6 weeks. Boom. Right now, I don't know where the Vegas odds went with the Titans, but I guarantee you their over-under for games is no more than 7 now. I can't imagine them losing Derrick Henry and now DeAndre Hopkins, and they're not going to rush him back, especially if they get off to a bad start. Man, it's a three. I would say now it's a 3-team race, right? Right. In the AFC South, the Texans, Colts, and Jaguars. I would think the Tennessee Titans are flat out of it at this point. You lose Henry, and then you turn around and lose Hopkins, and you're going up against a Colts team and that they have Richardson back. It should be pretty explosive. Jaguars hopefully will have for them, hopefully Jaguar fans, you'll have a good bounce back year. Last year was pretty disappointing. And then, of course, the Houston Texans, who are expected to do great things with C.J. Stroud and company. So it looks like a 3-horse race already in the AFC South. Man, brutal blow today for the Tennessee Titans. Another big injury. Justin Herbert has a foot injury. Listen, guys, we've all been down this road. Harbaugh and the Chargers have a mountain to climb now. He has a foot injury with his plantar fascia, whatever. Look, however you say it, plantar fascia. This injury, we've seen what it does to players. It is lingering. It's ongoing. And Justin Herbert has been diagnosed with an injury, his plantar fascia injury on his right foot, which is his plant foot, folks. That's not good. It'll put him in a walking boot for 2 weeks, and then he'll gradually return to play football. He's expected to be ready to play at the beginning of the season. I don't see it. I'm putting Chargers now down there. The Chargers have issues. You lose Hopkins today for Tennessee Titans, and the Chargers are losing their starting quarterback in Justin Herbert with that plantar foot issue. That's a bad injury. We've seen that injury take people out for the whole year. And he's a durable guy, but Justin Herbert now will have a mountain to climb in order to get ready for week 1, if not week 2 or 3. I don't know. Look, if you're going to look on the bright side as Charger fans, you're glad it happened in first 2 weeks of training camp, but that's an injury that can linger. That's an injury that can for sure linger. So not looking good for Charger fans, not looking good for Titan fan. Browns fans had one of their running backs helicoptered off the field today. Man, injuries already. And, you wonder why no players are starting in this Hall of Fame game. But we're going to see at least football's on the television tonight. Excited about that. We're not going to see C.J. Stroud. We're not going to see the number 1 pick in the draft. It's just we're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. There will be an injury or two. This is second string, some second string, a lot of third string, a lot of fourth string players going at it to try to make the squad tonight. But you'll hear the whistles. The referees will get going. It'll be fun. That's all. Listen, it's just going to be on the TV. It's just the fact that the noise is going. Football's playing. You can hear him say "set hut." I'm fired up about it, man. Absolutely fired up. Y'all can be however you want about it. But the Lions, Texans -2.5 over under 33.5. It moved up 1 point since we've been on air. So you've got the Texans and Bears. Bears plus 125 if you want to go that way. I don't know, man. I'm not doing it. For those of y'all missed a little bit of the show, I'll have the podcast version up right after this. But thank you all for tuning in. I'm Jeff Michael. This is Sports with Balls. We talked about the Olympics and some boxing issues in the women's division and boxing in the Olympics already. And how I haven't really watched much of it. I think I get updates, right? Just get updates. Whenever some football stuff, some big injuries in the NFL. Let me see if I've got any more NFL news before we jump over to major breaking news in baseball as well. All this stuff coming out this afternoon, man. Wow. I talked about Herbert's foot injury. The Titans wide receiver Hopkins out 4 to 6 weeks. Buccaneers signed the highest paid offensive lineman. Good for them. And that's it, man. Everything else is training camp as usual. If anything else breaks, obviously I'm going to try to do a show tomorrow. We'll try to get back on the air. But a Hall of Fame game tonight in the NFL. So you've got about 50 more minutes to get your snacks ready and get your beers cold. And boom, we'll kick it off. All right, let's jump over to Major League Baseball, where we've got some huge news. Depressing. Really, really depressing, man. By the way, like this show, share this show for those of y'all that are tuning in right now. Go to Sports with Balls on your social media outlets. It's a blast. Today's show brought to you by Christian's Tailgate Bar and Grill. Go to christianstailgate.com. Find one near you. Go there and watch the game. They'll have drink specials. They've got beer bucket specials. They've got all kinds of stuff. Some of the best wings in town. They've already been voted best hamburger. Go to christianstailgate.com. Find one near you. Go watch sports. All right. Major League Baseball, man. This is a sad day. Mike Trout's been diagnosed with another torn meniscus and is out for the season. Listen to this. Mike Trout, since 2020, and has played 41 games in the second half of the season. 2021, 0. 2022, 40, which is great for him. That was a big season. 2023, 1 game. And now 2024, he'll play 0 games. Mike Trout out for the season with a torn meniscus. This is depressing in more than 5 ways. Number one, we could have witnessed one of the greatest baseball players to ever play the game if it wasn't for injuries. But the last 4 or 5 years, Mike Trout has been absolutely hammered with injuries. Back issues, knee issues, all kinds of stuff. He's like the Tiger Woods of baseball when it comes to like the beginning of his career and then the tail end of his career. Beginning of his career, he was, I mean, looking to go down as one of the top 5 players of all time. And now the guy can't even stay on the field. He hurt it. He re-injured his knee in a minor league game last week. And it's sad, man. This is something. And for those of y'all like, oh, the Angels should have traded him. I tend to agree with you a little bit, but Mike Trout is a proud human being and does not care about what the media thinks or what fans think. This has been noted through every single reporter that's ever interviewed him. And he doesn't like interviews. He doesn't like talking. I remember one year they had him on the All-Star game. What was that, 3 years ago, where they interviewed him on the All-Star game, and it was just awkward. Very awkward interview. Very quiet, reserved person. And he loves his hometown. He's very loyal. He does not care what you think. Doesn't care about being traded. Doesn't care about championships. I'm sure he'd love to win one, but that's not his priorities. His priorities is just playing baseball. It's just what he likes to do and wants to keep to himself. So Mike Trout is now out for another year. It has just been an absolute, unbelievable last 5 years for Mike Trout. I don't know how else to put it. Mike Trout, I wish that he would have stayed. So here he wrote an apology. It says, since my initial surgery May 3rd to repair my meniscus, my rehabilitation prolonged longer and more difficult than anticipated. After months of hard work, I was devastated yesterday when the MRI showed tear in my meniscus that will require surgery again, ending my hopes of returning this season. I will continue to help my team and teammates from the dugout as we press forward to the second half of the season. Thank you for your support, Mike Trout. It says, I will do everything I can to come back even stronger. I believe that he'll play. I believe Mike Trout will play, for sure. Will he ever be the guy that he was? I don't think so. Did we miss out on one of the greatest Major League Baseball players ever? For sure. It's like Mike Trout. If I was comparing careers, it's not even Tiger Woods. I would say Derrick Rose, something like that. Like Mike Trout and Derrick Rose are almost identical as far as careers go. Just explosive, unbelievable to watch. But when they're healthy, and then injuries just absolutely took over the careers of both Mike Trout and Derrick Rose. Just sad. Absolutely sucks. Because Mike Trout's one of the good guys, for sure. And, it is what it is. We saw all the, I guess, trades, if you will. I mean, yes, the trade deadline. The big one that's paid off so far is Jazz Chisholm to the Yankees. He's been absolutely crushing it. I think the Yankees are averaging 8.8 runs since they traded him. Now, I'm sure they will come down, but Seattle got a couple of good players. Of course, Randy Arozarena. The Houston Astros picked up Kikuchi, and both those teams battling for first place right now. I think the Astros have a percentage point advantage for first place, but that'll be fun to watch as we go down. But the Orioles finally called up Jackson Holiday yesterday. He had a grand slam, which was absolutely amazing to watch. I was in Colorado when his dad, Matt Holiday, cranked a home run and sent him to the the AL champion. Man, what year was that? I'm trying to look that up. That was amazing. It was the National League. I think it took him to the National League Championship Series, but I was in the stadium and watched Matt Holliday do that. So it was very cool to see his son, Jackson Holliday, hit his first career home run yesterday, grand slam. Afterwards, the kid that caught the ball exchanged. Jackson Holliday gave him a bat. You got to love baseball for that kind of stuff. It was phenomenal to watch. But you know, the Yankees are good. Baltimore, it's. I always say this every year, and I think I said it at the beginning of the year this year. Cream always rises to the top. Baltimore and New York, they're at the top. Boston's fallen back now. They're 7 games back in the AL East at least. The Cleveland Guardians, great team. Cleveland might be a top 5 team. And I mean, they're the quietest 65-42 team I've seen in a very long time. They have, as of right now, the best record in all of baseball. The Cleveland Guardians. And all we're talking about, of course, is the Yankees, the Baltimore Orioles, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and now the San Diego Padres. But the Cleveland Guardians, folks, have the best record in baseball. 607 winning percentage. Plus 81 differential. Philadelphia is higher, obviously. So is Los Angeles and the New York Yankees, yeah. But right now, Cleveland Guardians, best team in baseball, and they're the quietest best team in baseball I've seen in a long time. But Baltimore, the New York Yankees, Cleveland Guardians, Kansas City's they're fun to watch. I don't know how deep they can go, but they're fun to watch. Houston, if they can get healthy, if you can get Verlander back and pitching at top, at let's say 80%, Houston could be very dangerous. They need to get Kyle Tucker back tremendously. I don't know. Kyle Tucker took a ball off of the knee. Or shin, I'm sorry, about 2 months ago. And what was supposed to be a bruise looks like something may have broke because he has been off. The Astros exit put him on the 60-day IL or IR. So I don't know when he's going to be back, but if the Astros get Kyle Tucker and Justin Verlander back, they will be a force for sure. If you move down to the National League, it's the Phillies, the Brewers, the Dodgers, and Padres. Those are the National League. Unfortunately, Ronald Acuna Jr. got hurt for the Braves, really hurting their chances to go deep in the playoffs. The Cardinals look like they could be a fun story. They could probably disrupt some stuff, but the heavy hitters, Dodgers, Padres, Phillies, and that's pretty much it. The Brewers are a decent team. I don't think they can hang with the other teams. The American League, like I said, that's where it's at. That's where the fun begins. And that is your baseball news. Guys, if you missed anything in the podcast version, I am going to put it up. We've got a football game starting in about 32 minutes or 42 minutes. I couldn't be more excited for this, man. Damn. I'm going to go put it on right now as a matter of fact. Simone Biles, look, if y'all missed anything, the headlines, Trout's out for the season. Simone Biles won the individual medal. DeAndre Hopkins is out for 4 to 6 weeks, which is huge. And Justin Herbert for the Chargers has a plantar fasciitis foot issue on his throat, on his planting foot, which is absolutely devastating. They say he could be ready for week 1. I wouldn't put it on that. Ledecky wins another gold medal. But listen, guys, sports with balls. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Here we go. On this date in sports history, let's go through it. I think I saw some Babe Ruth news. 1928, Babe Ruth hits homer number 42 in the Yankees' 12-1 win over the St. Louis Browns. Takes him 4 weeks ahead of his 1927 pace. Man, dude, I would have loved to see the Babe live. That would have been amazing. Let's see. There's some couple more baseball stuff. Of course, the Olympic stuff back in the 30s. 1945, New York Giants outfitter Mel Ott hits his historic 500th home run off of Braves' Johnny Hutchings. Joins Babe Ruth and Jimmy Fox as the only players at that time to have 500. There's some Gil Hodges in here. Arthur Ashe becomes the first African-American tennis player to be named into the U.S. Davis Cup. Good for that. Let's see. Willie Stargell smacks 3 doubles and 2 homers in a 20-10 Pirates win versus the Atlanta Braves in 1970. 1971, Richard Petty, the late, great Richard Petty, wins the Dixie 500 in Atlanta to become the first NASCAR driver to win $1 million in career earnings. Good for him, man. That is, I did not know that. He was the first one to win $1 million. Let's see. 1976 struggling ABA club Virginia Squires trades star forward Julius Erving to the New York Nets for George Carter and cash. That is a big day. Niki Lauda, 1976 F1 champion Niki Lauda of Austria suffers a near-fatal crash in the German Grand Prix. If y'all have never seen that story about him, man, it's amazing. Niki Lauda was an incredible F1 champion. What to say? Willie McCovey hits NL record 18th Major League career Grand Slam in 1977. Oh, 1978, Atlanta Braves trounced the Cincinnati Reds 16-4. But, and they halt Pete Rose's NL record hitting streak of 44 games. Woo. Greg Louganis stuff in here. 1982, Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson, and Travis Jackson, and Happy Chandler inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame. That's a good. And Mike, there's a lot of Mike Tyson stuff lately. 1987, Mike Tyson outpoints Tony Tucker in 12 rounds in a heavyweight boxing unification matchup in Las Vegas. He is the first to own all three major belts simultaneously, WBA, WBC, and IBF. Are y'all going to watch that Tyson fight? Him and Paul coming up? I'm interested. Not going to lie. I am interested. Reggie Jackson's Hall of Fame in 1993. Baltimore Orioles shortstop Cal Ripken in 1994, the second player after Lou Gehrig to appear in 2,000 consecutive MLB games. That's a record that never be broken. I forgot what the final number was, but that nobody's touching that. 2002, Ray Lewis, 5-year contract extension. The Baltimore Ravens giving him a $19 million signing bonus, the largest in NFL history, and we all know that that's been blown out the door now. The money that's flying around the NFL and the NBA is just ridiculous. 2012, 8 female badminton doubles players are disqualified from the 2012 Summer Olympics for attempting to manipulate the draw by throwing matches. Oh, all right. Paul George suffered gruesome compound fracture in his lower leg in the USA scrimmage in 2014. I remember that. That's going to do it. All right, guys, listen. I'll be back tomorrow with more Sports with Balls. Enjoy the football tonight. Podcast version of this will be up directly after the show. I'm Jeff Michael. See you later.